to give you evidence of the compensation currently happening in Zimbabwe. Compensation of white farmers. You heard the beneficiary, the white farmer, former farmer, because he's still white. So you've heard a beneficiary having this discussion as what the compensation means to him, and he did indicate that at this point it is more for his next generation, for his children, than for him. But one thing he made clear is that he has received compensation in monetary terms and in the form of treasury bill. And I think that is worthy of us talking great about Zimbabwe. Because it's something some of us thought, that as a result of bad governance that it would never happen. But good governance in this context is happening, and I think we should talk about it. Now, I want to tell you something. I was, some weeks ago, I was in DC, in Washington, DC, obviously at the World Bank conference, and I noticed a delegation of, a very strong delegation of Zimbabwe right there, and there were a lot of meetings going on. Come on, you know what happens when we go there. The side meetings, the in and out and side meetings. And it turned out that Zimbabwe was actually having this discussion with the World Bank, and I'm sure they're having all these sort of other discussions with other agencies that perhaps want to help support the process, or whether in technical terms or whatever. So the point I'm trying to make is, for now, can we respect that what is happening in Southern Africa is a compensation of white farmers rather than the genocide of white farmers in Southern Africa? That should be the news, and that's the main reason I've decided to particularly do this podcast, and just to show that the narrative is being misplaced, that the narrative is misdirected. And I hope that news agencies such as the BBC, the CNN, Al Jazeera, Dutch Valley, all over the so-called international agencies would do their best to project this image of compensation rather than of genocide. So that said, I want to thank everyone who's watched this particular episode. I dedicate it to the white farmers in Zimbabwe and all white farmers in Southern Africa. I also dedicate it to all strong political leaders who have the clout to change policies, improve policies, and implement policies. I just want to let you know, African leaders, European leaders, American leaders, Latin American leaders, Australian leaders, North Africa, white farmers in Southern Africa are being compensated in Zimbabwe. Thank you very much. To all my viewers, please, I want to thank you. This has been phenomenal. The period of the last 2 weeks, I've gained quite a lot of subscribers. I've also had some people show their disdain for certain comments that I've made, or their expectation of what I should have done. To all of you, I want to thank you, and I would like to remind you to please tap down there, subscribe, like, dislike, and most importantly, I want your comments on this issue of compensation. Thanks very much. Bye.